So before we get started, we wanted to kind of reintroduce ourselves for anyone here who might be new. We are Jalen and Maria from the Francophile, and here we talk about all things French, French culture, learning French, studying in France. Maria and I are both TAPIF alumni, and now we are here pursuing our master's degrees in France, and so that's what we're going to talk about today.
So it has officially been 6 months since we arrived in Reims to pursue our master's degrees, and in our last monthly update video, we talked about our first semester ending, but we didn't have our grades as of that video. So we got them a few days after, but we can share now that we both passed our first semester.
Yes!
And I don't even know how to describe how I feel about it other than extreme relief. And I'm really proud of both of us.
Yeah.
But I think for the first time, it wasn't like a sure thing that I was gonna pass, or at least it didn't feel to me that it was a sure thing that I would pass. And so when I saw that I passed and I did really well, I was really relieved, is what I'm trying to say.
For me, I never had the feeling really that I wasn't going to pass, like a serious feeling, like I don't think I'm gonna pass at all, but I thought I might fail a couple classes, but I didn't. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a good feeling, but for you, I know it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
The way that a lot of my classes were set up, as we've talked about before, it was just one grade at the end, and it was an oral exam, and it's basically just rote memorization of hundreds of pages of notes for each class, and it was really hard.
And they'll ask you for your exam like one question from all those notes. You have to literally recite what they said in class.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a different technique that you probably weren't used to.
I've never ever taken an exam like that, ever.
Yeah.
And so to do all of that with all the new vocabulary, all the new concepts that I've been learning, obviously it's all in French as well. It was scary, and I'm not looking forward to doing it again, but at least I know that I can do it and I'm capable of doing it. We'll put something on the screen that shows like kind of what I mean when I talk about hundreds of pages of notes.
And if you can read French, you can see what they're talking about. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so yeah, that was last semester, and now we are in the second semester, of course, but right now we're on break. It's our winter break. I guess in America we actually call this spring break, but yeah, we have a week off of classes, and so we're just kind of relaxing. We've been checking out new stuff in the city. Like, it's been pretty nice. We're both still doing quite a bit of work because, I mean, as anyone who's in higher education knows, if you're on spring break, you probably have some homework to do since you're not switching semesters. But yeah, so for my work that I've been doing over spring break, it's been a lot of projects again, like fewer big group projects, but a couple of group things and a couple of individual things. I'm really feeling like this semester, I think I may have said this in the last video, but it seems more doable. This semester for me seems more doable just because I have fewer classes and maybe I'm getting used to the work that I have to do. So yeah, I've just been going to the library and vibing.
For the most part, I've been reading over my notes like I always do, but I also have a few papers due that I've been working on. They are, again, kind of like I talked about last semester, new formats that I have never done before that I'm trying to figure out how to do and how to do them well so that I can pass. So that's, I mean, it's stressful, but at the same time, they're not super long papers or anything. It's just, I guess it's just difficult to organize my thoughts in a new format that I've never seen before. So that's what I've been doing over break for the most part.
Speaking of papers, I also have a big assignment, but it's not like a long paper to do, but I do have to like interview people for it to do my own sort of field research. And I've actually interviewed a couple of people back in my mother continent, in North America, a guy from Canada and a guy from Oregon. So that was pretty cool just because, you know, we've been using Zoom a lot. So I'm just like, yeah, let me throw up a Zoom link and we can, you know, chat together. So that's been kind of an interesting part of my degree that I've never done before.
Yeah.
Speaking of Zoom, we actually were able to participate in a pretty fun event through Zoom with a school that we don't even go to anymore. It's our alma mater, University of Mary Washington. We were invited as alumni to go and participate through Zoom in a little get-together with other alumni from the Modern Languages and Literatures department at our school. So that was really fun. We got to talk to people all the way from like the 70s who graduated in like the 70s to now, and so
there's also our old professors, which is really cool to see them again.
Yeah, so it was kind of everyone from like German, Spanish, French, Chinese, Italian, and then we kind of broke out into these rooms based on what language you actually studied at school, and so we spent some time with the French cohort. Yeah, and that was cool. There were some people who were living abroad, kind of like us, and some people who, you know, went into education and all sorts of different paths. So that was just that was interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one, I guess, kind of fun thing like outside of school that we did. Other than that, we've been going on walks basically every day, and like long walks, just going to different parts of the city, which is always nice to check out different parts. Riding the bus to different areas just because we like riding the bus and stuff. And we went on some picnics, yeah. That was nice. We were actually trying to find a specific park to go to have a picnic, but we got there and it was closed.
It opens in a month though.
It opens in a month, but it's like closed in different periods of the year. I guess like you said that when we got there, probably for maintenance or something like that, but I was like, damn. I really wanted to go in there.
I mean, it's so nice. We're already closer to being able to go.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Don't worry.
That's true. So yeah, that's basically what we've been doing on this break. As far as the rest of the school year goes, I am basically done. I have like a month of classes left, and then I don't have any more classes because I have to go to my internship, which is going to last for 4 or 5-ish months. So that's what's going on for me from now on. I'm actually pretty excited, kind of nervous, which I said before, but hopefully everything goes well. And yeah, I'm just kind of excited to move from doing classes to being at work and then just doing that every day, and then having the weekends to just be a human instead of doing homework and stuff like that. So that's always nice. But
can't relate.
Yeah,
I'll still be not being human for a while.
Yeah.
As we've mentioned before, I don't have an internship this semester, which means my classes are going to go all the way to the end of the school year, and my exams will be at the beginning of the summer.
Usually in these updates we also talk about kind of what the situation with coronavirus and stuff is. So right now we are in something called comodal, which is half, well not even half, but part going into in-person classes and then part by Zoom. So that's what we've been doing. I've had a couple of classes where I've actually gone in, and it's been pretty nice. It's like everyone's not used to being in person, so sometimes there's like little technical difficulties, because another thing about comodal is that when it's in person, it's also being streamed through Zoom for people who may not be able to come, who may be sick with COVID, for example, or live too far away, or whatever the case is. So yeah, so the teachers, or the professors rather, have been like kind of struggling to like get back into the groove of going in person, but it was nice to like see all my classmates and my professors as well, and just like talk to people, collaborate, all that good stuff.
Mine is set up a little bit differently. I think we've said before that I have way more people in my master than he does, just because a lot of my classes are not specialized yet. It's all the people taking law. With all that being said, our system is really strict, and I haven't gotten to go to an in-person class yet because only 3 of my classes are eligible to be in person, and only every other week am I allowed to go into the class. The first week, it was my week. 1 professor canceled, 1 I had to do something online, so I couldn't. And then the third one, I forget what happened, but I couldn't go to that one either.
Well, sometimes if not enough people are like, yeah, I'll come into class,
Right.
then there's no point in the professor driving from wherever they live, because many professors might live in Paris or something.
Well, and the other problem is that we can't really eat on campus. And so if I'm going to be at school from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., it's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
And then the other problem that I've been running into is that sometimes my in-person classes run right up against my online classes, and that would keep me past curfew at school, and so that doesn't really work either. So like kind of like you said, it's just been really complicated and honestly frustrating, because I would like to go back to school with half of my classmates, but it's really not working out very well. At least in my master, it's not working out super well quite yet.
Yeah, so outside of like school effects of COVID, the government here actually yesterday talked about COVID, or had a conference, a little press conference about it, and certain regions of France have different things going on. Some have a weekend lockdown, some haven't changed from what it's been for a while now, but yeah, that was like one of the first times that they spoke on it in a long time, I feel. So the last thing we heard for here is that the 6 p.m. curfew is definitely going to continue for a little while longer, or probably around a month, maybe a little more. At
least,
yeah, at the least. So, the situation hasn't changed much from our previous video. I guess I'm really just kind of getting used to it. I mean, it's nice that the days are longer, so that when you get out of class, or when you're here stuck in the house at 6 p.m.
At least
it's
not
daytime
dark.
outside, you can look out there or whatever. But yeah, so that's the situation as far as that goes here right now. Alright, so that's all we have for you today in this update. We hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure that you follow us on social media, check out our Twitter, our Instagram, and our website, like this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do this every single month, so if you're interested in it, then you can subscribe and stay tuned. But other than that, I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.